Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now, first down. Escaping the pressure right. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
And an alley to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. After a one-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a first and goal. I think this is a free play for Wilson. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Justin Ellis. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long. Forced out to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of...
And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Steps away to his left. He gets hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Now it's Wilson, flushed out right, and he's going to keep it here. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, Wilson, flush to his right. He'll run it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Being chased. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 50. The 30. The 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? From the 38, Wilson dancing to his left. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of the rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw is Jackson, buying time to his left. He's going to take Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Jackson now, eluding the pressure right. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the third time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people. Find some other plays. Makers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And give him a gain of 37. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now it's Wilson. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson, forced out to his left. He'll try and run it, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Good job.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Jadeveon Clowney, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 75 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
23 yards the pickup there.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That's up.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, 64 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Eluded. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier now. And now here is another interception. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out.
Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. I think you'd have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man, had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium. Combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here.
Come on now, let's go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this with both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. He'll get the first. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Ravens have got it.
No, possession's ours. Possession's ours.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson steps away. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now it's Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And my goodness, another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there, maybe.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield.
That's where you belong.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson flushed out right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
57. 380. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Being chased out left. He's got a first down and then some. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 57. Yards as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Tucker now to add the point after. Now these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Ravens defense now as they get ready for the next possession. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Ingram again. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Jackson to throw. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ziggy Ansah in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And taken right at the 35. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going deep for Brown, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check. Back.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
That's how we do it, baby.
So now I need an explanation for that one, Charles. You're tied 4th quarter, deep in your own territory. What was going on in their mind?
I can't even begin to imagine. I understand being aggressive. You know, how many times have you looked at me and said, are you crazy? Why would you say go for it there? I wouldn't in this situation. I'm not sure what he was thinking other than maybe he doesn't believe in his defense at all anymore, that he just says, I've got to go for it in this situation. But his meeting, the head coach's meeting with the GM and the owner, that's going to be an interesting one because he's going to have to offer an explanation for this one. And how about the defense? They had to look across the field and go, that's the ultimate disrespect, isn't it?
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Thomas.
We play to win.
And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game...
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Dancing to his left. And an alley to run. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first throw here in overtime. Oh, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jadeveon Clowney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now what can Jackson do here in overtime? Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. We got it. We got it.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 22, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And an alley to run. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Jackson, buying time to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Steps away. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 24, Wilson flush to his right. He's got the first down inside the 10. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive. In trouble, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Whistles come in and a timeout. Just 8 seconds left in OT. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. This to win it in overtime. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And we will play on here in overtime. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision. And the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson forced out to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That was earning a first down the hard way. You want your quarterback to be a scrapper, but you also want to keep him upright. He paid for that first down by taking a big-time hit.
Jackson on first down, eluding the Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
That's what I'm talking about.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the...
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double...
And the pressure gets to him again. Michael Kendricks able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Our ball, baby. Our ball. It's ours.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now. And do you believe this? It's a safety, and the ball game is over. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing